So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
That's you.
Let's get it on. Thank you.
Hey, what's happening? How you guys doing out there? I'm T-Bone. This is the Recovery Room. This is... Sean, you got I feel like a weird angle here. Don, oh yeah. It's like I'm feeling like crooked. It could just be me.
It could be you.
It could be the glasses. Listen, I'm the Corona police.
You're a hater blocker.
These are my hater blocker glasses. This is my pull over. That's too fat. Anyway, nobody remembers that, do they?
No.
Okay. Anyway, this is Recovery Room. It is Thursday. Somebody give me a date.
March 26th.
March 26th. I'm just, I got my shades on because I've been banned. I'm actually been homebound now for 2 days, and hence the shadow and the glasses, because my eyes are bloodshot. No, I'm just kidding. I just felt like putting those on because they were sitting there. How you guys doing? I'm hoping that while you're quarantined, you're having a great time.
You were saying the other day that Tuesday had people from everywhere.
Yeah. Tuesday it was a big day. It was some new faces, a bunch of the old faces, but there were people from around the country and outside the country as well. And I know that you made mention that because our schedules are just so wacky and have been. But normally when you're up at 2 or 3 in the morning, there are lots and lots of people. These days, the numbers are down a little bit for those the what do you call it, insomniacs.
Well, they're like for the restaurant staff and stuff like that. They're used to getting up at like midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning and being up,
Yeah.
And now like I'm online and I'll post something that I think's funny and like an hour later I'll look back and not only was there no response, my post was still like the last post, and I'm like, wait a second.
It's like a ghost town on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm now actually taking this thing seriously, because I actually went to my, I got a morning ritual where I go to my exercise is tennis, and I actually showed up at the tennis courts on yesterday, and there was a sign on the gate, courts closed. And I was like, oh shit. I mean, things real. It's real. I mean, because I was gonna be the last man standing, but they shut me down. So it's serious, guys. And and as we go into this thing, if you guys are not members of our Facebook family, the Recovery Room yet, please go on your Facebook and type in the Recovery Room, and a little guy in a bed should come up, and there's a place and an opportunity to join there, and because every day there's some really great stuff posted. There's some heart-wrenching stuff. There's just some information that's pertinent to the struggle in which we're going through. The Recovery Room was initiated a couple of years ago, a little over 2 years ago, just really based on the fact that there was this whole opioid epidemic. I mean, it was just like out of control. And so we started the Recovery Room based on opioid addiction. But during the course of this whole thing, we found out that there were more things. People were addicted to a number of things, from gambling to sex to shopping to I mean it's just a bad relationship. Oh, see, we get right at the same time, right? Bad relationships. I guess we know all about that. Bad relationships, and at the bottom of all of these things is the common denominator is some sort of pain, and our resident pain expert here will tell you
it's only pain.
It's only pain, guys, and don't find yourself stuck in it. I mean, this is what kind of happens. We find ourselves stuck in this pattern, this like revolving door of pain and suffering and misery and pain and suffering and misery and pain and suffering and misery, and it's not worth it. But where I was going, first of all, with the whole thing about checking out the Facebook page is today Sean picked a topic, and the topic is world patience. And that's a very interesting topic considering what we're going through right now, because this is the one time that if Corona has any redeeming value at all, is that it is leveling the playing field. You see, we always talk about how addiction has no respect for persons. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic background. It doesn't matter your age, your sex, and none of that matters. It's an equal opportunity destroyer, and I think that it got a lot of attention, but certainly not the attention that this little bug is getting.
It's the first time that you can actually say, "Well, I walked in that person's shoes." Because you went to Walmart, wherever, to get a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk.
And it doesn't matter how much money you got.
And there wasn't anything in there. So it's the first time that the entire world is going through what you're going through.
Yeah. Common denominator.
And the one thing T-Bone was asking about was, for weeks now, was like, what's happened with the homeless people? What's happened with the homeless people? Because no one online was mentioning it. Nobody on TV.
They don't mention it on the news conferences.
Today, I actually first saw it. I think it was in Hillsborough County. They actually they're looking to do a thing for all the homeless people there. They're going to screen them, make sure they're good, get them all good, clean clothes, and they're looking to put them up in apartments and hotels that were abandoned. And that's, to me, that's awesome, because no one deserves to be living on the street, because quite honestly, your situation can change real quick right now without you bringing a paycheck to the table.
Yeah. And it's so sad, really, that it takes some type of pandemic, some type of catastrophic event for that to happen. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We live in a place where it is a tourist destination, but it's also a place it's also a destination for what they call here snowbirds. When I first came to town, I heard about these snowbirds. Oh, the snowbirds! They're messing up the traffic. It's
and
like,
you're looking up like, where's the bird?
Yeah, like what kind of bird is? What are they doing in traffic? Are they pooping on people's windshields or something? But a snowbird is somebody who lives up north during the summer and comes down here during the winter months, and so they got year-round summer. It's crazy to me that you got major mansions, these mega mansions here, and they stay empty half of the year, and you got people that are living on the street. And now, because of Corona, and like I said, if there's any redeeming value, it's waking up people. It's become this field leveler. You know, because it doesn't matter your socioeconomic background, like Sean just said. When you go to the grocery store or to the convenience store, even the shelves are not stacked more for you because you got more. It doesn't matter how much you got. I would imagine it makes you feel like you got less. If you got more and you can't get and you can't get more, what does that feel like? But here we are now with this catastrophe that's going on. That now we're gonna house these people, and so I keep saying to people, and they keep saying to me, "Well, T-Bone, I hope so." I keep saying to people, you know what? This is going to be the best thing that ever happened to us. I don't feel like it right now because look, I'm growing a beard and all kinds of stuff. Just I'm sitting in the room like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do? Fortunately, I got plenty to do, but we are forced to reconcile. We are forced to be patient. The world is forced to be patient. You look around the world; they're showing people on their balconies singing and in chorus and but they're cooperating. That's the other part of it. World patience, but also world cooperation.
But you're also seeing world stupidity, where the people are thinking it's a joke to go and cough on the vegetable, the produce section, whatever else.
Yeah, those guys. Those are the same guys that when things they're stupid, doesn't matter what's going on.
There was some lady, I can't remember where it was at, but the store had to throw out $35,000 worth of food because she coughed all over it and was on video laughing about it.
Yeah.
Well, Trump went and made that it's an act of terrorism. So the lady's looking to spend the rest of her life in prison for being stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like more like ignorant, or is that the same thing? Ignorant and stupid. They're probably levels of stupidity.
I know the other day I went to the store and I couldn't get any toilet paper. I was like, and I was at Winn-Dixie and I'm looking at their meat section and there wasn't a piece of chicken there. There was no chicken. There was something, but they just spread everything out. Tons of pork products, whatever else, and the people were coming out to restock with the toilet paper. The guy comes out with it, and
they mob him.
No, he was like just throwing the stuff like, here, toilet paper, and people were like, thank you, and like, God bless you, and it was reassuring to see people not fighting over it like they do like on Black Fridays for you going crazy for TVs at Walmart and stuff like that.
And why they gotta call it Black Friday? No, just kidding.
I lost my phone.
But it was nice and reassuring. But when I left there, I was still stressed because just everything was going on, and this car in front of me was going like 22 miles an hour in a 50 mile an hour zone, and I was yelling out profanity at the driver, and I wasn't alone. My friend was in the car with me. He was like, Sean, you just need to calm down. I was like, look at that fucking driver.
Right.
And I took a big, deep breath, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So-
we're all in this together.
And that's when I realized that, you know what, that person in that car, they're probably thinking, man, I don't have that much gas to go to the store
gotta make
to
it
go
to
get
the end.
this.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't know what's going on in the other person's car. We don't know what's going on in their world, but what we do
You never
know.
know what somebody else is going through.
Well, but will you get a
That's
better
a
understanding?
peanut gallery.
Babe.
Yeah, you never know what somebody else is going through. But yeah, and these things, the craziest thing about it all, or not even crazy, when I don't mean that. The best part about it all is that we are being reminded of the simple things in life, right? Of washing your hands. And kindness now is starting to be. We've been talking about this for a while, right? We talk about it every day. People say you guys talk about the same thing every day. Well, who knows it was going to come along, and what we've been talking about is the most important thing, because right now you got to be kind to other people. You know what I mean? I've been doing this all the time, and I haven't had any problem, fortunately, with the paper products. I got the people at the store, because they love me, they put some aside for me. And this is not bragging about me, this is talking about kindness. When you're nice to people and you're kind to people, they return that. It is the greatest medium of exchange on this planet, the greatest currency on this planet, love and kindness, And so I go to the store and they reach back there and they say, hey T,
Yeah, but they look around, they're like,
Yeah, right.
come here. Almost like a dealer. Hey, come here. I got this stuff for you, man. I got it here.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got it here. It's all
Yeah.
good. It's good stuff. Good quality.
My tennis friends at Jones, and I mean, one of my friends called me today, and I was sleeping, which is an interesting thing. But and I listened to the message. Said, "T, listen, man, you got any tennis?" I got cash. I got cash. I'm willing to pay. Yeah, because people's lives are changing. I mean, we have this thing, our little cycle that we get into, and it has been totally disrupted. And then when you start talking about the unemployment claims were 3.8 million people. Unemployment claims, and it's only going to get worse because nobody's working. And so, like Sean was saying, our God bless our hospitality people because they're going through purity hell right now.
And for those of you out there that never had to wait tables or bus tables or work in the industry at all, you don't get like you get, back in my day, they got $2.01 an hour. So you were relying on those tips.
Yeah.
But it was ship to ship. They're like, oh, well, I could pay half my
they raised it to $2.35.
$2.35 an hour.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yes.
But it was like, well, if I do these 2 shifts, I can pay for part of my kids, daycare. If I do this next shift, I can pay for part of this. And then after you do all that, well, if I do this next shift, I can hopefully get a bite to eat.
Yeah.
It's tough out there for everybody.
It really is.
I want to put a huge thanks to everybody that's in healthcare.
Yeah, you guys are now the new heroes. Always have been, but now you're the new heroes.
I mean, I was in healthcare for a couple of years, managing a nursing home, and that was heart-wrenching itself. But here you have, and these nurses and et cetera, they can't even go get tested themselves. And they're having to take care of these people. And I want to put a huge thanks out to all those truckers out there just busting their backside to make sure that you guys have something on your table. And
some toilet paper.
And some toilet paper,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I know, thank the trucker. If you see the guy's truck pulled over, go buy him lunch. Big whoop-de-doo, so I'm going to cost you a couple bucks. You're going to make that guy's day.
And guys, remember this. As you go and you try to buy all the toilet paper and all the paper products and all the hand sanitizer, one of the things is that the people around you need to be sanitized as well. You know what I mean? So if they don't have any hand sanitizer, they don't have any toilet paper, you're still at risk. You're more at risk. Anyway, if any of this stuff is something that's on, you got some things on your mind that you want to discuss about it, feel free to call us. The number is 941-201-5226. That's 941-201-5226. That line is open. If there's I'd like to know what's going on with our community out there where it pertains to our NAs and AAs. I mean, or what's going on? Are we doing virtual meetings? I'd like to know. If you got any more news about what's going on with the homeless, I'd like to know. If you got anything new about, how it's affecting our senior citizens and what people are doing about that. I know a group that I'm dealing with right now actually is getting involved with helping to go shopping for the homeless. I know a friend of mine is a designated shopper. He says, dude, I'm 72 years old now. I'm a designated shopper. In the morning they have an hour that's dedicated to senior citizens. And so he has people calling him saying, dude, could you go to the store for me in the morning? So there's a lot going on. This thing has ramifications far beyond anything that we have ever had to deal with in our entire lives. And so I'm encouraged. But see, the other thing is that it's about dialogue now. It's about talking. It ain't about stuffing. It ain't about keeping it to yourself. Right now, it is truly about talking about it. Okay, and once again, if you'd like to talk to us about it, or if there's something that we say that it hits you in any kind of way, whether it be good or bad, because what I do want to say for sure is that we come here out of because we're committed to the cause and helping people. Nobody, we're never trying to say that we know anything, we're better than anybody. If there's something that we say that you disagree with, I mean, that's what we have to learn to do in this world, right? Is learn to agree to disagree. And so if there's something that's on your mind, feel free to call us. I mean, Tuesday, the phones are jumping off the hook. But again, that number is 941-201-5226. Through the miracles of modern technology, look, it popped up on the screen.
And that number is available 24 hours
24 hours a day. It's a hotline. Somebody's always available to answer.
If by chance I don't get to the phones because I don't walk so fast anymore, I'll call back.
Yeah, and leave a message.
Yeah,
and we'll call you back. I mean, we just and this is what we don't want anybody. We don't want to create any, because in Facebook they got followers, right? We're not looking for followers. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for people who are willing to step up to the plate and do whatever it is that's necessary to be a part of the solution. Not to try to be like anybody. We want you to find what it is in your being, what moves you, what you do that you have a passion for, that you can contribute positively to the situation. Because there's that whole saying, right? You got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Well, we want people standing, and even if you fall, that's okay, because everybody falls down. Well, Les Brown would say, listen, fall down on your back, because if you fall down on your back, you can look up, and if you can look up, you stand a better chance of being able to get up. But it is the resilience of the human spirit, and that's what we're going to do. Find with this coronavirus, we're going to find that we're going to overcome it. And then we're going to come out on the other side bigger and stronger and better people. And this is not the first. This is probably it is the first time in history that the country and the world has been shut down. But it's not our first catastrophe. It's not the first thing we've been through. We have overcome so many things. And speaking specifically to my fellow addicts out there, this is kind of like child's play. Because if you are one of those, and I like to call them 9%ers. If you're one of those 9%ers, if you're one of those people who have overcome the grips of addiction, that thing that is as close to death as you're gonna possibly ever be, if you're one of those people who have overcome that, then you can do just about anything. And so I believe that the addict, forget the stigma, forget what people think and say about you. I believe that you are one of the strongest people on the planet. I believe that you have been chosen, because not everybody can go through that and survive it. But you 9% of the people, 9%, when I say 9%, it means that 91% of the people who ever become addicted, they relapse within the first 30 days or the first year of them trying to get into recovery. There's only 9% of the people who make it a year or more. And so if you're a 9%, my God, you are one of the strongest, most powerful people on the planet. I predict that in the next year or two, you will have the strongest voice in this nation, probably on this planet. So forget what the people said about you. Forget about what people think about you. Decide today that you're going to be a 9%er. Decide today that I'm going to make it, man. When I stop this time, I'm sticking with it. As tough as it may be, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to give a shout out, to our girl Christy. She is just doing just wonderful. She'll be back on the scene here a little while, and she'll have a story for you that's going to be fantastic. It's going to be motivational, and it's going to be powerful. And that's what this is all about. Sharing your strengths, sharing your testimony, sharing your wisdom, sharing your experience. Because that's what it's about. More often than not, we find ourselves feeling like we're in this thing alone, but we're not. There are people that are going through things as bad or worse. I mean, take Sean. You know, Sean sits here every time we do this show. He sits here and he needs a liver. You know, we talk about this, and in fact, I want to thank Paul Miles. Paul Miles is the second person who's contributed to the Sean's Liver Fund, and thank you, Paul, very much. And you know, and he gave $10, and thank God. I mean, every little $5, $10, $15 helps, but every day that you sit here, Sean is fighting for his life. Okay, and you're thinking that your stuff is bad, but here you have a guy that's sitting here who's fighting for his life every day. So, you know, again, I like to call him our resident pain specialist, because I mean, the dude that's dealt with pain is better and more than anybody that I know on the planet. So, okay, I know I went up on a rant. It's for me. I've seen it. I've seen the failures or the shortcomings or the because failure is when you really quit. You know, failure is when you give up. Failure is when you succumb to the thing. If you're still here and you're still alive, there's a chance for you. See, I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from some book, some textbook. I'm not talking about from some school thing. Well, unless you want to talk about the school of hard knocks, you know, the school of concrete, you know. So when I talk to you, I'm talking to you from my heart. I'm talking to you from my experience, and when I say to you, listen, if God can save a wretch like me, no telling what He can do for you.
And don't look at it as failure if you're doing something and it's not working out the way you want it to. When they asked Thomas Edison about the light bulb, they said, "Didn't you feel like you failed like over 2,000 times?" He said, "No, I didn't fail at all. No. I found 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb."
Exactly.
And that's the attitude you guys need to have.
Yeah. Find 2,000 ways not to stop getting high. And then when you find that way, and then when you find your way, and when you find that, and then when you get to experience that feeling, that see, there's success, right? And Winston Churchill it has a lot of good quotes, but one of the ones that I like is that success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Okay, and it is also the gradual attainment of a worthwhile goal. And God knows that getting your life back, getting your children back, getting your dignity back is a worthwhile goal. But it's going to take a little while. It's not an overnight thing. You may decide overnight to stop. It's still going to take a while. It's going to take a while to where you get to that point. And I can tell you, again, speaking from experience, when you get to that point when you don't even think about it anymore, boy, you talking about freedom. You talking about like a release of all kinds of stuff. You talking about getting that gorilla off of your back. It's the most amazing thing.
There's a video on YouTube with Will Smith talking about failure. He says you must fail in order to grow.
Yeah. Like
the first time you got on a bicycle, dude, you were like, woo! Yeah, you weren't doing backflips and everything else and doing jumps and whatnot. No. I guarantee you scuffed up your knees and your elbows and whatever else.
Foot caught in the chain.
And you got back up, you're like, all right, who saw me wipe out? Nobody. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Let me try this again. You know? And you know what's also, people always say it's like riding a bike, right? Because a lot of times when you get back to where you were, and when you get back into your groove, it's like riding a bike. You just get back on it and you get into that groove, man. And I guarantee you're gonna like it. See, majority of us didn't choose to be addicts. Something happened. Something and the majority of the people who are is based on some kind of a trauma, some childhood experience. At least that's what, you know, that's what statistically and all this is, that it's based on some pain, some type of trauma. And so, you know, when you were in the third grade and they asked you what you want to be when you grow up, I don't think anybody said a junkie. I don't think anybody said a prostitute.
Well, I remember I stood up on my desk and the Mrs. Pratt is down at Tropical Elementary in Miami, and she said, "What do you want to be when you grow up? When you get older like me?" And I stood up on my desk. I said, "I'll never be old like you." And then you heard the call to the principal's office. Sean, principal's office, please.
To the office.
You know, I mean, I never thought I'd be here. Just, you know, when you're a young kid, you're like, you have all these inspirations.
Oh, and you're invincible.
You're like, I'm gonna be like Superman or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I think never prostitute,
no,
junkie, robber, homeless. Never. Those are never the choices.
in prison.
In prison. Yeah. I think I want to be locked up for the rest of my life. Yeah. That's what I'll do. No, you have some aspirations. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. And guess what? You can still be. And then guess what? You can be an advocate for those people who are suffering through the same thing that you're suffering through. Okay, and that's the reality. You know, this world is your oyster. This world is yours. What you see in this world is what you are imagining in your brain. One of my friends was on Tuesday when we did the show, and he said he's imagining hope and he's imagining, you know, what life could be like if you just hold on long enough. And that's what we have to do, guys. I mean, see, in our reticular activated system, which is like our imagination, those things, those visions in our head, or how we view life. And if we are viewing life in a manner in which it is about hope and it's about love and it's about kindness, those are the things that you will perpetuate. But if you are about fear, and if you're about anger, and if you're about resentment and all that, those are the things that you will perpetuate. You see, this 6 inches between our brain is the most remarkable instrument that's ever been created. And I want to give a big shout out to God for making something.
Do you want to rub them in?
Yes, clergy. Reverend Prindiville. Thank you for
Gotta rub the
rub the clergy thing. No, I mean, because listen, it's got to be. I know I couldn't make this thing, and I know some of you are really, really smart out there, but you couldn't create this thing that has all of these different systems that are all connected and work together. It's amazing, you know, to be able to see. It's an amazing thing. And see, what I want you to see is that this sense of seeing, right? It is yours. It is what you see. I don't see the same thing you see. I may see the same colors. I may see the same, see it at the same distance or whatever. But I don't see it the way you see it. You know how it always is, right? There's a car accident, right? And you ask 3 people what they saw, and you get 3 different scenarios.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. We all see things through our own lenses. And I'm suggesting that you take your little cloth and the little thing and clean off your lenses, man. This is 2020. This is a year of clear vision. It's about foresight. Foresight is going to be 2020, not hindsight. You see, there are people right now that are because of a struggle. There are people right now that are doing amazing things. There are people right now that are being very innovative. There's some people I saw in the news today that there's a company that normally does things for they build stages and so forth for concerts. They're now making protective gear for nurses and doctors and so forth in hospitals, so far away from what they normally did. But because there's a need, which is where compassion is, right? Compassion is that where there is a need, somebody must fulfill it.
Well, what's that guy, the Mr. Pello, whatever it is?
Yeah.
He was redoing all of his equipment to make masks for everybody.
Yeah. There's a need, guys. There's a need, and there's some needs that you must fulfill. Then you don't have the option of not doing it. You don't have the option of saying no. It is for you to do. I grew up with this guy Floyd Lane, and Floyd Lane's instilled in me. He said, T-Bone, you got to know. You got to use this saying for the rest of your life. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. And that's just the reality. You can't wait on for anybody to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. When it comes down to it, you have to do it yourself. My dad used to always say, "Weight broke the wagon." I don't know what the heck he was talking about back then. It was an analogy, but I get it. You know, you can't wait. You must do it. If you get the call, if the phone rings, you get the call, answer it. When duty calls, answer it.
And speaking of the phone, call up your family. Tell them you love them.
Yes, please.
You know, call up one of your high school friends or whatever. Let me know how you really truly feel about them. And you know, sometimes just that one phone call can be for them being depressed, wanting to jump off a bridge, or they're like, "Wow, man, I haven't talked to Sean in so many years." I'm looking here at my phone, and I've got probably about 50 of my personal friends that are all over the United States right now that are logging in. And if you would have asked any of them about me becoming an ordained minister,
Yeah. Ooh.
you would have needed a lot more toilet paper to clean some stuff up.
Yeah, man.
You know.
There's some deep poop there.
We're coming together as a world right now. Mother is pissed off. Look at when's the last time anybody heard of this many freaking earthquakes going on? You know,
Tsunamis.
the
fires.
tsunamis and everything else. But on the flip side, I was watching these videos of the in Venice, Italy. You know, they don't use streets; that they use the gondolas to move around. The water's crystal clear right now because they don't have all the boat traffic on there, whatever else. They said it hasn't been clear water in like thousands of years. They were showing pictures from outer space down on Mother Earth. Looks like the ozone layer's fixing itself.
Yeah.
You know, and just from us not, you know, starting the cars up and driving all over, going 90 miles an hour to go nowhere. You know, slow down, smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the ones close to you that you love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told you. I called and it changed. You see, because things, what people tend to not to understand is that your kindness changes your life as well. You know, and when my aunt, I told one of my aunts. My aunt is 88 years old, and she's in Virginia Beach, and she has been isolated for the last 3 weeks. I mean, and scared because, you know, the fear of this coronavirus affecting the elderly. And she specifically said to me, "Thank God you called me, because I was seriously sitting here contemplating taking myself out." And she said, you thank you so much. You will be blessed. And guess what? The blessings rolled right in. I needed to do some things that, you know, from a financial standpoint, the money appeared. Well, you know, I had to work for it, but it appeared. And so, you know, your kindness is sometimes its own reward. But when she told me that, when I got that, when she, and because I try to practice what I preach. And so yesterday I said, well, hell, I'm here at home. I might as well call some people I haven't talked to in a minute. And she was the first person I called. And that was the response I got. And so I don't know how much saving a life is worth. But like Sean said, reach out to some people. If there's some people that you've had some disagreements with, and you've been holding some grudges and you know, anger and all that for any period of time, get rid of it and call those people. Because, you know, again, we try to get some stuff through people's heads, because I say this every day. Anger and resentment towards somebody else, it's like taking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Because that anger and hatred you hold inside you, it's going to kill you.
Clearly. So these are the little small lessons we're gonna learn.
Like, I have two sisters left, and I call one the good sister, and the other one, me and my sister Eileen, we joke, and I go, well, that's your sister. No, that's your sister. She's not my sister. You know, and she's known my family for going on like 30 years now, I guess.
Long time.
And I don't know what you call her, but
I won't call her name.
yeah.
I call her name.
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, we don't get along, but I still called the other day just to see how she's doing. She's got some serious health issues as well. And, you know, any day could be my last. As my doctor says, your next breath can be your last.
Right.
But you
And
see
yours
me-
can too.
Yours can too. They say if I get like a really, really bad cold, that can still overtake my system and I won't be here. But I'm not gonna let that destroy me or dictate who I am, etc. I'm still gonna go and do what I do and spread the word of hope, you know.
Amen.
And I mentioned the other day, like, what would you put on your tombstone? What would you want to have on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great prison bunkie, you know, or you know, some kind heart. You know, hold my beer, watch this. You know. So, think about right now, if something were to happen to you and you weren't here, how would you be remembered? Would you be remembered as, oh, well, so-and-so is a bleep bleep, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I hope I'll be remembered for the good I tried to do, you know? And you're not going to please everybody. Just understand that, and then just be hopefully yourself as a good person, you know? It's...
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm here. I'm looking for something.
one of your quotes.
Yeah, well, it's actually what you were just saying. It's called the dash.
Oh, yeah, the dash between the
Yeah, the
when
dash.
you were born and when you passed on.
Okay, here it is. It's coming up. This connection is not private. Okay.
Whoa!
Whoa! Okay, I didn't know. I didn't want that. Close page. Good God. Anyway, so the dash is you were born on your tombstone, right? You've got the day that you were born.
And then you have that dash, and then the date that you expired.
Yeah.
So what are you going to be known for in that dash?
Okay, and here it is. I've got it. I'm going to read it for you guys. This is important because, you know, let me just read it. It said, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that the first came the date of the birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and not only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. When your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, what would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? And that's the reality of that. How are you living your dash? Because you are currently now in your dash. And there's time for you. And again, that's what I'm feeling like this particular time is. I know this is what it is for me. So let me speak for myself. I know that this time for me is another opportunity to rearrange. It is another opportunity to clear out some garbage. You know, because we carry around a bunch of old stuff all the time, and none of that, and it's so useless. And so, you know, when I'm laying there, and God knows we've all been to funerals, and I've spoken at a few, and I've sung at a few, and you know, and it's always it's a very final kind of thing, you know. But what are you going to be remembered for? What is going to be your legacy? That's the key word, legacy.
I think for me it was don't do that.
Yeah,
You
don't
know?
go 180 miles on a motorcycle. 180 miles an hour. I mean, not 180 miles. You can go 180 miles, but don't do it all at one time.
When that front end came up going that fast, allegedly,
Woo!
I was not ready for that.
Yeah. So guys, now's the time. You know, there's no better time than the present to rearrange. I'd like to use the word transform, because Guru said to me, rearranging and changing are one or two things. Changing means that you change some stuff, you know, but transformation is clearing it out. Transformation means that none of the old stuff exists anymore. There's a whole brand new person.
Get rid of that ugly caterpillar, become a beautiful
Oh my
butterfly.
God! You know, the caterpillar is bound up, and that's their life for the whole time. And they think that it's over, and then poof, they come out, and then there's this beautiful thing that we're looking at, going, "Wow! Look at that beautiful butterfly." You know, come out of your cocoon, folks. Come out of your cocoon. Spread your wings. Fly.
Not into traffic. But
Yeah,
fly, you know.
but fly. You know, and you know, there's that other thing too, right? You guys heard about the butterfly effect, right? That butterfly flaps his wings in Montana and creates a tsunami in Singapore. You know, and now that's analogy. Now it's just that there's an effect. The little flapping of the wings here has an effect across the world. It's just like throwing a rock into a creek, right? Into a lake. You throw that rock, it has an effect. It ripples. So that's what we want. We want your ripple. We want your butterfly effect. We want you spreading your wings. We want you to be, Jesus told the disciples is that we want you to go, and we want you to go spread the gospel to the four corners of the earth. And I imagine that's when they thought the world was flat. And
Wait, it's not flat?
no, Sean. And then he said, and I want you to use words when necessary. You see, words are important, but your actions are what are most important. You see, people don't care. People are not so impressed about how much you know. They're more. They wait a minute. How's the saying going?
I don't know.
Give me a second. Let me wrap my head around. People don't care how much you know. They know how much they want to know how much you care. You know, they don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. You know, and that's the bottom line. Oh, let me do this. I'm sorry. Our sponsors. Oopsie.
Pants down.
Even though a couple of them are.
Oh, I told you could do the show with your pants down.
No, I
Well,
can't.
that's the other show.
Oh, that's the other show.
1-800-GET-SOME.
Hey guys, but in the meantime, listen, all you guys that are out there and you're feeling alone, because I know right now during this time it's really even more prevalent that people are feeling alone. I told you about my aunt, right? And I know that there's a lot of guys, I don't know your phone number, but let me reach out to you right now. Let Sean and I reach out to you right now. If nobody's told you that they love and care about you today, we love you,
guys.
and we care about you, and we just want the best for you. The reason that we come and do this, we're not doing it for accolades, we're not doing it for money. We're doing it because we care and we love you, and we want to be a part of the solution as a part of the problem. This show is really sponsored by some really cool people. We've got Hammock Haven, a really cool idea. That's, right now they're kind of on, everything's on hold, but they bring hammocks to your event to create a cool experience. You should check them out. Go to the hammockhaven.com. Chillax a minute. We also have our good friends at 421 Sweet Treats. A little life is sweet and full of treats. They've got some really good. Anne Marie Island and Holmes Beach's finest little cafe. And then we got Protect Our Warriors. It's a website that is designed to connect businesses that appreciate first responders and armed forces, and connecting them with services and discounts and things showing their appreciation. A really great company. And they're gonna be, these right now, we're doing a lot of our networking meetings now via, and this is probably by design as well. We're doing it via Zoom and via free conference call and all that kind of stuff. Because we can't be in the same room does not mean that we can't communicate. Hence, here with the recovery room, I want to thank Facebook for creating this opportunity for us to stream live into all of the homes out there, for people that are just surfing can stop and maybe catch a word or two that we're saying that could perhaps have an impact on their lives.
But speaking of sweet treats, they are still open. Obviously, the restaurant part's closed. You can't dine
but you
in.
can take out. Yeah.
They're doing takeout.
Yeah, and a lot of restaurants are doing that, and so still support them. So support those guys that their doors are still open. You can't come in and sit down, but you can go and order. And then you also have all the other the what do you call them, the delivery services are still out there delivering
Like
stuff.
the Grubhubs.
Yeah,
or whatever they're
Grubhubs and
called.
all that are still out there. I think Uber Eats and all those kind of things. I think they're still delivering food. So the restaurants are still, they're trying to hold it down. Some of them are taking care of their employees, which is a really awesome thing. And let's hope that the government stimulation is it what it's called?
Stimulus.
Stimulation. The stimulus.
That's the other show.
Comes through soon, so that they can take care of their people. Because the thing that I know, I've been in the hospitality business for a long time, was in it for a long time, and it's a family. We come together and we take care of people and we take care of each other, and I'm hoping that comes through. And then all the small businesses and the big businesses out there, I believe that there's going to be a resurgence of the human spirit. I believe that things are going to come back, and they're going to come back stronger and better than they ever were. I believe that people are going to treat each other better. I believe that people that are receiving tips, the 25% tip is going to be the norm.
I hope so.
It's going to be the
I
norm.
know.
Like Sean said, these people live for tips. You guys got to preach it. If they're running back and forth, now bad service is bad service. I get it. But if someone is delivering good service to you, because I'm one of those guys, right? Having been in hospitality, I know how service. I know that you're supposed to serve to the, from the left and collect from the right, and so when you see somebody that is doing it right, and they stay out of your way to let you have your conversations, and they're there on time when you need your water changed, and they're responsive to you, and they're there for your needs. Take care of those people.
See, it kills me because I was in the industry for 30 plus years. I used to run 5 restaurants at a time, and et cetera. And I can't just go and enjoy myself, because I'll sit down and I'll look at another table. I'm like, that table sat down for me.
Yeah.
That table has
Served.
to be greeted within
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
acknowledge that table. And I'm like, Then I'm saying, well, and their drink's empty, and I don't even work there. I'm just there as a customer.
Yeah, trying to enjoy yourself.
I don't know.
Yeah, but for those of us who do that, I'm a tipper. I know it. I tip. A lot of places already have the gratuity included in the bill, and I still tip.
And what's tips come from? Remember I told you?
It is to ensure proper service.
Yeah.
Sean after all these years, Sean just taught me that just recently. What tips means. I said, Sean, what does tips really mean?
Well, and I saw something online the other day. It said, does anybody know what the term bar stands for? Started thinking, I'm like, it was beverage area room.
Ah,
I went,
okay.
or beverage alcohol room, depending on
Yeah.
what you, but
Yeah.
And I went,
Listen, there's so much to be learned here. While you got some time, learn some stuff. You see, this is the thing. We live in the age of information. You can Google anything yourself. You ever Googled yourself?
Yeah.
Just did.
Don, that's not how, it doesn't hurt, Don.
Hurts my feelings.
Well, it depends on what you've done with yourself.
Well, I live in Panama City, and I'm like, no, I don't live in Panama City, but.
Hey guys, I'm sorry if you guys have been on the chat. I'll come back later and answer him. I didn't have my computer up because I was, we've been in here and we've been surrounded by this corona. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I know there's some comments and so forth, but like I say, I usually try to come back and answer them later. I'm hoping that you guys are having a good corona day, because you know what? This may be the best time in our lives. We may be like, hopefully you're not missing it, because maybe spending time with your family, being forced to spend time with your family.
There's a prison sentence in it 12. I got 3 months. Oh.
I saw this. My friend Caroline sent me this thing, and there was a whole bunch of them. One of the ones that stood out to me is it was a cat. There was a cat. There was the picture of the cat. It's like, what's going on that my servants are here all the time now?
Yeah.
You know, why are my servants here all the time now? But
speaking of, I was also reading online that a lot of people were turning their dogs into the shelters because they thought they could get the virus from their dogs or cats, whatever else.
You can't.
You cannot. If you ever needed your dog or cat, now is, I think, when you probably needed that animal more than you ever did.
That unconditional love that they give, you know. They don't know about the corona. They still, you know, they just wondering why you're home all the time.
Just remember to have that good heart and pay it forward. The other day, someone was really special to me. I helped them move some stuff, and this individual hadn't spoken with her family in years, and started chatting, whatever else. Now they're talking just by doing like a little kind thing. So just have a good heart, you know. It costs you nothing to be a decent person.
Yeah.
I know.
Nothing. And in fact, it is the most free thing. And it is the most profitable thing. It is, again, meaning currency-wise, as a currency. The more kindness, the more love you give, the more you get. Try that with your bank account. Try that with your cash. Try to see if the more cash you give, the more cash you get back. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know, boy. I tell you, the last few months, I was like a bank, and you know. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because the people that I gave them love, more so than money. I gave them love, and they're still giving me love back. And that's the thing. So the more love you give, the more love you get. See, we always say that. You know, this world is really about and not how much you know. It's not about your aptitude, how smart you are. It is truly about your attitude. You know, having an attitude of gratitude will take you so far. It'll lighten your burden so much, because see, so many times we have all of this great stuff that we already have, but we're not appreciative of it. If we would just appreciate the little things that we got, the bigger things don't matter so much. You got a bunch of little things that you appreciate, they turn into big things.
Like something so simple. One of our neighbors, T, was actually getting ready to go out, and so he was walking this huge Great Dane, and just being neighborly, started chatting, and they actually do a movie night there. They invite everyone up and down the street, and they got a big, huge movie screen in their backyard, and people bring over some stuff, and they barbecue, and just, you know.
And because that's one of the things too. I mean, these days we don't know our neighbors, and it's during these times when we need to know them the most. You know, when some stuff goes down, you need to know your neighbors. And so we're planning a neighborhood, thinking about a neighborhood kind of cookout. I mean, like it's like they used to do in Boys in the Hood. You know, but just
what the cars driving by and shooting and stuff?
Yeah, none of that. There'll be none of that. But no, we need to get to know each other. That's the bottom line. For my tennis buddies, I'm doing this video about the diversity of all. We know each other. We get together and we play tennis all the time, but we don't really kind of know each other on a whole nother level, like what we do, where we come from, who are friends, who are family, you know. And so it's time that we get to know each other. We have been at arm's distance for too long. We're really at arm's distance right now. We got what we call human spacing. Good God, they come up with new terms for stuff. Every time I turn around, there's a new term for something. What do they call it? Shelter in place? Who thought of this stuff? You know, where does this crap come from? Oh, well, we're going to be sheltering in place now. Keeping a human distance.
Well, like a lot of stores, like I know Walgreens is doing it. They have these stickers on the floor, and they're 6 feet apart, so you stand there on your little square box.
That's crazy.
The next person to cash out goes out. And You know, if that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to
And
do.
listen, we are able to follow instructions, and that's the main thing. The instruction I want to give you is call somebody you love. Okay, call somebody you love and tell them you love them, and do it as soon as we're over here. We're the recovery room.
We love you guys. Peace out. Be
You
safe.
sailed
Wash your
away
hands.
and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not.